So this is video C, and I'm going to start talking about how the classwork is going to be structured. So like all classes here at Beaumont, your midterm or final is going to be 20% of your grade. And I divide up your homework and classwork is 40% and quizzes and tests is 40%. So you're kind of getting an equal contribution between your homework and classwork versus your quizzes and tests. So for homework and classwork, most of your work is going to be for completion. So if you do the work, you're going to get full credit. There are some items that are graded, and I will let you know that when the item is assigned, that this item will be graded for credit. And so for those, you may or may not get full credit for. So note that 40% of your grade is extremely achievable to have an A in that, as long as you are doing your work and trying to keep up. Your quizzes and tests, based on the fact that I'm not there and present with you, and we might have some of the term where we're at home, you're going to have kind of a combination of or a variety of online paper tests and projects, and those will evolve as the term progresses. So the structure is going to be a little bit different, and this is partially because I'm not there, but also partially I've been trying to evolve towards a more self-paced class to allow you to work longer on things that you find more challenging and take less time and not be held up by everybody else on things that you find to be easy. There is going to be a pacing guide. I have not finished working on this as of the date that I videoed this. So I will introduce the pacing guide in another video. I just don't have that done now, so I can't show that to you. But I'm going to give you some guidelines about what is on pace and what that should look like and where you should be on a specific day. And you're going to want to try to stay on that pace as well as possible. There may be days where you are extremely productive and you get a lot more done. And there may be days where you're struggling on a concept and needing to spend a little bit more time and get more help in order to do that. And you have the ability to do that in the way that I'm structuring the class. So they're going to be short videos on individual topics with assignments and practice work, kind of like what you're seeing as you were going through this introduction and general information. And the fact that you have all these short videos allows you to return to past topics when you have questions. So if you're preparing for a test or you're preparing for a final, or you're doing something that you're like, oh, I don't really remember how we did that before, you can go back and look at the video. And since they're all very short, it doesn't take you long to find the right video. In addition, when we are in class together, this allows me to have more time to work with individual students when somebody needs help, because I will not be lecturing to you all the time, not trying to keep all of the class at the same pace at the same exact moment of time. So I think this is going to work out really well, but I also think this is going to be helpful to you while I am not there at school. So submitting classwork. We're going to be using Google Classroom, and you can submit either photos, PDF, or Word documents. I have all of your packets scanned in as PDFs, and they're identified by colors, or these introductory ones are identified by what the topic is on the first page. Many documents are also uploaded as Word docs for you to use, and you're welcome to type right in those and work in those, though that is fine with me. A lot of students last year worked on their physical copies in the packet, took photos of those pages, put the photos in a document, and then submitted that. There's a lot of things that we do that are going to lend themselves very well to working that way, but it is really up to you. I am going to request that you try to submit your work in as few documents as possible, because there might be a time where you maybe have 6, 7, 8 photos that you're taking. And if I have to open up each one of those and the server is kind of slow, and that could take me 20 minutes to get through just yours. So if you can try to submit your work in as few documents as possible, that will make things easier for me also, and I would greatly appreciate that. So your daily checklist, and I have put this in a document in your syllabus packet, so it is there. And you're going to have to fill out a daily do first, which I'll talk about in a moment. Then you're going to watch a daily video. And I have these labeled by class date. So that will have prayer, any specific instructions, answers to submitted questions, and other general information. So since I'm pre-recording all of the chapter content, these videos by class date just allow me to have a little bit of information given to you just specifically for that day. So you're going to want to verify that all your completed work has been submitted, all assessments are completed and up to date and current. Review any comments on any return work and revise any work that's needed. Then you're going to want to get started working on your current lesson, be that a video, book work, packet work, the MOP app, whatever you might be doing. Be sure to turn in your completed work at the end and fill out the end of the day survey, which is a Google form with a place to allow you to ask questions. So if you're not understanding something or you need more clarification, this is the place to do it. So in general, every day is going to look very much the same. So you're going to fill out this daily do first, and that's what this is. So you're going to fill out the information here with your name, the date, what lesson you're on, give an indication of whether you're ahead of pace, on pace, or not on pace, what your goal for the day is, what you're going to try to accomplish. Here's a list of a couple strategies that you might be able to check off as to what your strategy for the day would be and how that strategy might help. So this is part reflection on what's been working well for you, what maybe you need to change. And I'm asking you for just kind of an indication of how you're feeling that day. So I have an idea of how you're doing, where there might be concerns, and I know to reach out to you and be attentive. So how to know what to work on. So each chapter is going to have its own checklist. So it's like this, like we've been working on through this, what I'm kind of calling chapter 0. And you're going to know what video you're supposed to be watching. You're going to have a checklist of things that you're going to be turning in. There's going to be an information about whether you have an assessment to do at that point in time. Sometimes you're going to find more than one video. So I may assign information in the first video, and in the next video, I'm going to actually go over the answers to that. I may introduce something else. I may talk about something else. But so sometimes you're going to see multiple videos on that particular topic, and it's because as I assign things for you to read or videos to watch, when I come back and start answering questions or explain a few things, that's going to be in a separate video. So occasionally there's going to be a general information video that needs to be watched before a project or a test or something like that explains how to do that in a lab activity. And I'll point those out when we're doing the daily videos. I will also have some information of that on the pacing guide. So when you have questions, when I'm not in school, the first place you should go is ask a classmate. Talk to somebody else who's doing the same thing. Remember, you're all going to be kind of at different places and at different points. So it may be challenging initially to know who's working on what if you're not together. But you should be able to find some people who are either working on the same thing or who are at the same point, and maybe you guys can figure it out together. You can search through your textbook notes or the internet. You can email me. You can ask a junior who took my class last year. I'm currently in the process of requesting a couple juniors to help out with that, and I should be able to have a list of that for you by the time before you start school. When I'm in school, still try to use other resources before seeking my help. And I will help students first if they indicate that they need help on that daily do first sheet. So what happens if you're stuck, confused, or didn't pass an assessment, need additional help? You're going to first use the available resources to get help, and be sure to include that on your daily survey so I'm aware. But please don't stop working. Don't just stop. You should not stop procrastinating while you're waiting for me, especially here at the beginning of the year while I'm recovering from surgery. I may just not be available, but I really don't want you to just stall out and not make any progress. I will help you as soon as I can. And many of these topics at the beginning of the school year are very independent of the previous topic. So even if there's something you don't understand, you can move forward while waiting for me. And that's it for this video.